All right, everybody, I gotta unmute them really quick, so give me just a second. Hi, everybody. So, my name is Shay. I am an admin for the Rainbow Six Siege community. I'm here with Rustin and Brian, who are also admins. We also have the legendary Pengu from Penta. Thank you for joining us, Pengu.
You're welcome.
Is everybody?
Yeah.
I want to make sure everybody's things are on. So.
Yeah. We're up and running.
Just so you guys know, if you are watching, you are more than welcome to ask questions, and we will ask Pengu as we see fit. And yeah, so we ask everybody this starting out. How do you come up with the name Pengu?
So my original name was actually a blue penguin, spelled B-L-O-U.
Right.
Since B-L-U-E was already taken for obvious reasons. And I came up with that it was like 2 a.m. You know, I was like, all right, I'm going to get a gamer tag, settle on it, stick with it, right? I was 12 years old, and I was favorite color, favorite animal, and became the blue penguin.
Favorite color, favorite animal?
Upon joining, yeah, it's simple, it's straight on.
Yeah,
but then upon joining, it does. But upon joining Penta, I'm required to have the Penta tag, and Penta Blue Penguin was more than 14 characters, so therefore I had to shorten it down to Penta Blue or Penta Pengu. And as we can all hear, Penta Pengu sounds pretty well in tongue. It's really a PP, so.
It's a PP. It really does sound better. I mean, it has a ring to it, I'd admit.
It does.
So penguins is your favorite then?
Yeah, it's penguin. Like we got a penguin there.
Yeah.
I noticed in your stream they're like all over the place.
You guys can see it. Yeah, on stream. My brand is also that's tattooed here. My desktop background also like it's a penguin.
Do people send you penguin stuff like from stream and everything?
I wish they should. I gotta get a what's it called, PO box? People can send me stuff. Yeah, we should do that.
See, that would work. If you did like the Amazon wish list thing, you should have like all penguins.
Like, I actually wait. I gotta show you. I got something recently actually. Hold on.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
This is gonna be the good stuff.
I got this
massive penguin. Oh, that's awesome.
Like,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Really good. It's got. I don't know what this is, but just ignore that.
Is it supposed to be like a necktie? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks like a ribbon.
Yeah, a ribbon. Yeah, but it wasn't there in the picture when I bought it, so it's just a bonus.
Oh, you had to buy yourself a penguin.
But, yeah, it's 120 centimeters, so more than a meter.
Holy crap!
Nice.
Do you sleep with it at night, like cuddle up?
No. I had to downgrade in bed size, went from a 1.5 man bed to a single man bed. So I'm all alone in that bed. No penguins, no girls, no guys,
no.
no anything.
Oh.
No anything.
So, you recently played the finals and
Yes.
got second place to Liquid, Team Liquid.
Yeah.
But you guys played really well. I had 5 pages of notes, not gonna lie.
Oh, nice.
There was like, well, cause mainly for this interview itself, but there was a lot of stuff that you guys did that I was just like, that goes against all logic. But I feel like every time you guys play in a Pro League match, some of the stuff you do goes against all logic, and it just, I mean, it makes no sense. Is that the strat? Like, let's just completely throw them off and screw them up, or like, what are you guys thinking?
I think the thing where it comes from is that we often do stuff on the fly. So throughout the entire season, we do stuff that is orchestrated and constructed, right? It's things that we have practiced on, that we have set up on paper, and it works the first time, works the second time, but by the third or fourth time, the other team has seen us do it against the previous teams. So when we get to the LAN finals, then we pull something out of our butt, which usually is a similar strat but slightly altered. And then you saw us play border, I think, every single matchup all the way up to the final. So, by the 4th time we play it, we gotta pull stuff out that comes out of nowhere, logically speaking. So at that point, that's when the crazy stuff happens, which is either extremely successful or extremely, weak or vulnerable. And in this final, it ended up being our downfall. So.
Well, there was the very first time you guys played Armory upstairs and in border.
Yeah.
And you didn't reinforce that one wall that you it's 100%. The first thing you do is go and by half wall. You guys didn't reinforce that, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
That might have been a mistake actually. So we changed the reinforcements.
It worked, though.
It did work, but it shouldn't have worked, right? But sometimes it does. 50-50.
I think a lot of it too is that you guys just win these insane. There might be some screw ups, and you might have everything planned out the way it's supposed to be, and everything's going the way it's supposed to, and then it all comes down to winning those gunfights and having So having the aim.
That's what we made the team around. Like we made this team with 5 talented players, so that we could actually go in and say, okay, we're the only, just as a note, we're the only team in Europe that actually speaks English, despite not having any native English speakers, right? So I'm from Denmark, Fabian's from Sweden. We have 1 Finnish player, we have 1 Spanish player, and then 1 unknown player who's going to be announced tomorrow in about 17 hours time. And nobody's native language is English. So it's quite difficult to orchestrate people and to communicate on a very fluent level.
Yeah.
So we went into the mindset that if we can frag it out, we can always win if it goes wrong. So that's where that comes from.
Which, in theory, would work, but you also have a lot of really good fraggers on the other team, which I guess you just have to hope for the best. How was playing with the sub? Like, how long did you have to play with Kanto before? I think that would make me nervous. And the other team was playing with a sub too, right?
Rogue played with
Rogue played
with a sub, yeah. We didn't face them though. They fell short. Oh, we did face them. I lied. We did face them. And they fell short. We played. So we were supposed to boot camp in Berlin, which we intensive practice for 4 or 5 days before the LAN event.
Yep.
And we flew in Kanto. So basically, the day before we're supposed to leave for Berlin is when we're like, okay, we need a new player because Shati is not attending this LAN. He had some family issues to attend, some personal issues, which then led to his retirement, which is temporarily from Siege. So the day before, we're like, who can we pick up? Talented player, fragger, speaks English, is available for us to borrow from his teammates. And we've always been good teammates with Ends, even though we've stolen both Junes and Shati from them previously. So we thought we might as well steal a third, right? We might as well. So we hit them up like 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. middle of the night. We said we need to borrow Kanto, please. So we paid a loaning contract fee, and then we just instantly flew him out to Berlin, boot camp for 5 days, went to Atlantic City, and then made the final but fell short.
So what does that boot camp entail? Like, what exactly? You guys just huddled in a room, super sweaty, it smells bad. That's what I picture in my head, really dark. Your vitamin D's low. You haven't seen sun in 5 days. I think Pengu's frozen here.
Yep, he is frozen.
He's frozen for me. It's not a good look. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Das ist nicht gut. Alright, give us a second, guys. We're dealing with technical difficulties.
Yeah. I might have
Well,
to.
while we're waiting for him to get back, if we have any members watching, go ahead and post your questions now in the comments section below, and we will get to those later on in the stream.
We have eyes and ears inside the comment section, so don't be afraid to post.
But keep it cool, guys. Keep it cool.
Keep it cool, keep it clean. Stay civil.
The ones that did post beforehand on our announcement for this interview, I do have those written down. We will get to them as we can. As far as shout-outs go, it's probably not going to happen because then we'll be spending 45 minutes doing shout-outs and not be able to ask any questions. So probably no shout-outs, but you're more than welcome to go to his Twitch stream, which we will post a link to, and you can go check him out on his stream, which I'm sure you do because every time he streams, he has hundreds. I'm wondering what we should do here.
Well, if we have some sort of a, what do you call it? I just lost my head. Do we have an intermission?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Enjoy these great messages.
Yeah, we'll, I guess we'll still be here though. Hello, Brian Fonseca.
Hi, Panda. That's my best friend.
Yeah, Elijah Nesk will most likely stay in Liquid, considering that they just won. So I don't see any point of him leaving Liquid right now.
Give us just a second. We are still waiting on Pengu to come back. I don't know if.
Yep.
Let me see if.
Hello, Kyle.
Did we just end the live stream?
No.
It says
it's
Oh, we're just in intermission.
Yeah.
Are we muted?
No.
Are we muted now?
No.
We're still going, right?
Yes.
Yay! Hello, everyone.
So I just saw here on the announcement page we had a ban on somebody, but I don't see why. They must have been banned for something else.
Wait, can the stream hear us right now?
Yes.
No.
Yes, they can.
Oh, they can? Oh.
Rustin, stop leaking out secrets to the public.
His entire internet is out at the moment, so that is what's going on, apparently.
Yeah.
Beautiful!
Yes, Brian.
Life would be nothing without intermissions. Hoping it'll come back.
Yeah. Looks like it is snack time. I have peanuts.
Francisco Gonzalez. Yes, that is one of the questions we will hopefully get to. And I see your response there.
Yeah, any of these questions that you guys post, we'll be able to pull them right back up. I've got the phone here, so.
Right, and Kyle Jose, to answer your question, all the operators will drop on 7th of June. That's when the update's coming, and season pass holders will get them immediately. So that's when you can start playing them.
I wonder if I'm able to edit this.
Pengu also said that he will accept questions about his personal life.
Well, don't put that out there. What are you doing?
Trying to make this interesting here, all right?
Okay.
What do you think about Sexy Cake?
Who doesn't
Is
like
a pro player.
I'm sure they wanna...
Sexy Cake did pretty well as a Blitz player. Personally, I think that Sexy Cake performed pretty well when he needed to.
What can a team do to get better at practice? Oh, okay. And for anybody that just joined right after internet went out, Pengu's a super nice guy. I think you guys will enjoy watching once we get him back.
Yeah, definitely. So just hang tight, folks. He should be back shortly.
Hopefully.
And at Russell Yarbrough, Pengu is staying in Penta. That is just a rumor. That Pengu's not gonna be in Penta anymore. That's just a rumor.
Pengu? That's a good question. I'm curious now.
That is a good question.
He might be able to. I might actually get that answer right now.
Well, Rustin's doing it. The madman was actually doing it.
I'm trying to at least get some kind of something worked out here.
Oh, so Pengu says he is 6 feet tall.
All right. For those of you who are not American,
short.
6 feet is 1.8. 1.81.
1.81.
I forget that we have a lot of worldly people, and the U.S. is the only one who decides that they want to use a completely different measurement system than the rest of the world.
The metric system is a sin.
Oh, please don't say that. That is.
Wait, metric is basically feet and inches, right?
No, metric is meters.
Is what the rest of the world
Imperial.
uses.
No, metric ain't a sin. You Americans are sitting with your feet, inches, and weird stuff.
That's called
pounds.
The imperial system, thank you.
Imperial scum.
There's a reason why they call it standard, too.
And at Russell Yarbrough, Shate did announce he was retiring from Penta.
Aww. Oh, here, I can answer that one. Pengu, are you single?
Okay.
Oh, boy.
It's gonna be really weird coming in as like a DM from Rustin, the hairiest admin we have. Are you single? Hey there.
The hairiest admin that we have?
I feel like you're definitely, superlative-wise, you definitely have the hairiest admin superlative there.
No. Tom has a beard too, and
yeah,
he has longer hair.
I do feel like you're definitely the hairiest out of you and Tom.
Yeah.
This is
Except I don't want to know. I don't want to know that. Elijah, keep it clean. No dirty talk.
Oh gosh, wow.
Ooh.
Elijah, calm it down there. But yes, so Danny Pengu says that he is single as a Pringle.
I mean, with pickup lines like that, I don't understand. All right, so I'm going to make it so that you guys can see us now. I just made a really quick screen. So that way it's not some awkward thing. Woo! All right, yeah. What did Elijah say that was so bad? What did he say?
Sorry, D2P. What is D2P? Down to what?
I don't know. Oh God, what just happened? I don't know how to...
Oh, we lost Brian. We lost Brian! No!
We didn't lose him. He's using the ladies' room.
Oh, it looks frozen, but that's just his god rays coming down.
Yeah, it's the god
We need
rays.
to turn the graphics quality down on his on his thing. Just get rid of
It
the
needs
god
to be
rays.
up. It needs to be up across. Hi, Doug. Hi, Panda.
Down to play.
Just so you guys know, yeah, we yelled at him for being dirty, and he wasn't being dirty. Down to party, duh. Just so you guys know, we are having some technical difficulties. The second we get Pengu back, we will put him back in there. He's having some internet issues. Apparently his internet went out, so we're just kind of chilling at the moment. Does he want to be unsingle?
I just asked Pengu.
I love that she puts in parentheses, I'm a girl.
I'm a girl. Yeah, I was actually curious about that. I mean, it wouldn't matter if you weren't a girl.
We don't assume genders in this community.
Yeah, you don't.
Swing however which way you want to swing, but...
Yeah.
You want to know who's taking Shati's plays? Pengu is my favorite player in Pro League, and by far, but him and Shati are such good chemistry. I honestly think... So they're making an announcement in 17 hours of who the 5th player for Penta is going to be. They've already got this person signed and under contract and ready to go. So 17 hours, you will find out who the next player for Penta will be.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, I wish it was me.
So.
Yeah, you wish it was you.
I out-frag Rustin all the time, so it's definitely not him. Let's see. Is Kanto taking Shati's place? These are things I do not know.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Elijah's same, except Black Guys is overrated.
Let me see.
Pengu will be back, Josh. And
Yes,
Gavin,
yes,
we're
yes,
here to
I'm back.
please you guys. Ask away, ask clean. Do not ask weird stuff because that will make us feel weird asking Pengu that.
Well, I'm already answering a
Questions
weird
for
one.
the admins.
So,
Any upcoming interviews? This is a good one. We can answer this. So I have set up
Yay.
quite a few more interviews. Next Monday, I have an interview with Fabian from Penta. Super excited about that one because I think it's going to be a really fun one.
Yeah.
That will be happening. And then the Sunday, which I believe is June 11th. No, wait, no, that's... No. So, 17th.
Hey.
Hey, there he is. Hang on.
Welcome
There we go.
back.
Here we go.
I fixed it with my phone, dude. I'm a fucking genius. Let me fix
Wait.
the door.
Now I gotta fix everything
Hotspot
again. Oh no, it's all messed up.
Great.
I don't think I can do this. Hang on.
well, so the person that I was
Let me
asking the
fix it
question
really quick.
for Pengu here was Danny Becca.
Oh,
It's
shit.
all messed up, yeah.
Card.
Oh goodness, what happened to the overlay, Shay?
Well, because I had to make a new one, so it all got screwed up here.
Alright
Oh,
guys,
weird.
give us a second.
Yeah, give us just. Let me get it all
In all
situated
fairness,
again.
it was the guest who disconnected, not the creators.
Well,
Yeah.
While
Okay.
Shane's fixing this, I'll read a few more questions since they can hear
Well,
us.
let me finish answering that one question. I also have Zeronic, who used to play for Playing Ducks, and he is now he's an analyst for the Rainbow Six Siege Pro League. He will be on the Sunday after Fabian, which Fabian's on the 11th, which makes that the 17th. I will be announcing the times for those interviews. Hopefully here soon. I still have to set up the time with the Fabian interview, or the Zeronic interview. I think I have this mostly figured out as far as this goes, so let's go ahead and... Here we go. Okay. Well, that was fun.
That was fun, yeah.
All
We are
right.
What
Okay,
a mess.
so one, I guess we'll go. So Danny wants to know if you're single.
Yes, that was the one that I already asked for him, and that was Danny. It's actually Becca pin card.
When you say Danny,
She-
I get scared. Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
She did put in parentheses,
Well, maybe
I
it's
am a
Danielle.
girl.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Danny or Danielle. He says, "Does he want to be unsingle? I'm a girl."
does he
LOL.
want to be unsingle? Who doesn't want to be
I was gonna
unsingle,
say,
right?
it's just a silly
Yeah,
question.
same.
I mean,
And
worst
now-
case scenario, you just find someone to eat good food and watch movies with. I'm not complaining.
yeah.
Netflix.
You're
and
such a
drop
sweet
out.
guy. Netflix and
Netflix
Rainbow
and chill.
Six.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
There we
beta
go.
version.
So I guess let's go with that. So if you found somebody, your significant other, would they have to be a gamer too? Like, is that like a requirement? Like, must
No, I mean-
be plat 1 or above?
I think I play enough for like the both of us in terms of time investment.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
that's not a requirement, but the person needs to understand what I do for a living because the game comes before people, which is hard to understand if you're not from this environment, right? Like I say, my mom, listen, I got a game tomorrow. Like I can't be
Yeah.
at your birthday party because it's Pro League, right? And 2 years ago she wouldn't understand that. Now she understands. Then I take her out to dinner the day after, right, or the day before,
Nah.
and fix that. So it needs to be something that's like understood mutually from both people.
Does your mom sort of like, has she always been super supportive of your Pro League ambitions?
Yeah. So I was raised without a father, which made my mom a two-person, father-mom figure there. So she's been supporting for two people. So she's always been,
Feel
head
that.
first, toes in. Yeah. So go
Yeah,
moms.
same.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Go
Yeah,
Mom!
definitely.
Moms everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm on
You
the
know-
same boat as you as well. Raised as a single kid.
Same.
Yeah.
I think both of us,
Yeah.
all three of us here.
Nice.
4.
You know what they say
Four.
is mother
Oh.
is God in the eyes of a child. So
Oh
that's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember that.
definitely.
Just
Most
remember
of
that
you.
when I'm playing, though, because I am God.
No, and we'll talk about what Shay does when she plays.
We don't have to talk about that right now. We don't have to talk
So-
about that.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
ain't gonna talk about
Danny,
that, Rustin.
By the way, just to end the question about the single thing, Danny says that you have made her die and go to heaven with your answers.
Well,
So.
That's terrible. That's
yeah, she's
terrible.
bad. She's
Yeah.
bad.
But
Alright,
we're
you
nurses,
gotta-
so we can fix
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Shay will
Okay.
fix you up.
I will. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse.
So this one's kind of funny, but Josh Hack says, I'm ranked 225, but I'm stuck in gold because I solo queue. And I feel like the last name kind of helps his comment.
Yeah, just hack. Just go for it, and most get
hack.
I'm a terrible
You
person.
won't make it
I'm
past
not sure
like
about that,
plat 3.
No, I mean, if the issue is solo queue, then don't solo queue, right? Find some friends, buy some friends if you can't find any friends, and then
Buy some friends.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Buy them rainbow credits so they can get gold skins and they'll play with you.
I mean, I also feel like at level 200 and something, if you haven't found at least a 3-man to run with, something's wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Oh, are you calling my boy out here?
A little bit.
No, he's fine.
Fix yourself.
Speaking of credits, I actually got so I play Gold Force every Sunday. I'm in a team called the Gatekeepers because we win all of them, right? And we keep people out from winning. Humble brag. So what I do is that I stream it with my friends, with my viewers or whatever, and we usually we win them. And then what I do is that I share the prize with the viewers. So I actually have like 3 or 4 spare key codes that I haven't used yet myself, and I thought maybe you guys could get one of those to give away for the podcast.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, so I can email that after this.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
We can stash that in the drive.
Oh, that's awesome.
So another silly question. Whenever we're ready. This one's a silly one. This one's not related to Rainbow. But what show are you currently obsessed with? I think we talked about this earlier a little bit. But...
We did a little bit. I mean, everybody's hyped about Game of Thrones, but that's not currently running. I guess it's Suits, which just had its season finale like a couple weeks ago, but a new season last season starting. Yeah, Suits.
That's the one where the new princess is in.
Yes, Meghan Markle. She just dipped because she has to do royal stuff now. I mean, god damn it. It was cute. It was good.
Oh, wow.
And then I really dig the originals, which is a side series of the Vampire Diaries, which ended last year.
Oh. I don't like the originals. We'll save that for another time.
What am I doing here? Come on.
I know. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here.
What about the Vampire Diaries?
No,
then?
that's life. I will not
see, on my second monitor over here, I got it running right now.
So are you Damien or Stefan? Which one are you?
I'm a Stefan for sure.
Thank you. Okay, we can be friends again. You've
emotional, nice big eyebrows, close to his eyes, brown eyes.
And he looks like he belongs in like a 1950s greaser gang. Love him. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back onto Siege. There's a lot of people who are asking, like, how do you get better with your aim? Like, what do you do in order? Did you just get on and were like instantly mega good, or how did you start this whole process?
This is my first FPS game ever that I've played a lot. So I was silver 1 back then. The ranking system was silver, like 1 was the lowest, whereas now 1 is the highest. So I was the lowest silver rank when I started after placements. Ended the first season in plat once I found my team, which was Pinner Sports back then. So we 5-stacked. But what I did is that I had to catch up. So I spent a lot of hours, played 10-12 hours every single day for a year, and that's when I spiked in popularity as well as in performance in Pro League. So I played a lot, and then what I started doing is that I started starting every single session of playing with 20-30 minutes of terrorist on, get the wrist warm, get that sense of mobility in your wrist, and to get the feeling for the mouse, and then play X hours of ranked or whichever, and then I also end my day with more terrorist hunt to like get that good feeling and on a good note, so that you feel like you've progressed as a player. I think it's important to have that continuous sense of achievement that I did good today, and then I did good today as well, and then you continually just like find pride in your work, which makes work not work but more of like a fun thing, right? Like a hobby.
Right.
So
that's great.
That's awesome. That's
do you? I mean, as much as you play, how many hours do you think you put in a week?
So I commit about. Well, I don't think I've ever committed less than 9 hours a day the last 2 years. So I usually say I average 12 hours a day. I've established over 9,000 hours since the game came out in 2015 October. So I played the 2 betas, and then I played when it came out December 1st. So ever since then, it's been 9,000 something hours.
9,000 hours.
Which is
nice.
about a year in playtime over the course of the last 2.5 years.
Good God.
So I'm only sitting at
an average of 12 hours a day. Yeah.
So you don't use anything like the I have a lot of friends who swear by the aim booster game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, my stream likes that. They're like, "Oh, Pengu, play aim booster for us." I'm like, No, because it's not the same thing. Like a lot of
Right.
people. So terrorist hunt is not super optimal for practicing, whereas like CS:GO, you have all these bots running at you infinitely. You shoot them. So what a lot of players do is that they would start up Counter Strike and warm up in that game, but it's a different game, right? How you shoot, how you aim, the mechanics, anything from the field of view. You don't have ACOGs or right clicking in CS:GO. So it's not really as proficient, and the same thing kind of goes for Aim Booster, because it's not the same universe, it's not the same thing. It's still great for warming up, sure, but I wouldn't say that it's more optimal than Terrorist Hunt is in itself.
Right. Understandable.
The terrorists piss me off because you can never find the last two.
No. What pisses me off is when you're like running away from a bomber and he just gets you across the room.
Well, you're not supposed to run away from them. You headshot them.
Gotta shoot them.
Right.
I get scared. I
shoot them till they're dead, Rustin.
Rustin screams like a little girl every time.
Yeah. When we play, turn me down because you don't want that evil on you.
No, I mean another thing to add is that you should probably warm up in different areas, right? So what I do is that you play your typical Ash main, whatever, run and gun. Then you play Glass DMR. That's basically what's it called? Like focused around accuracy since it's a DMR.
Yeah.
And then you play Box DMR because that on Terrorist Hunt it's not patched, whereas on live servers that's a fire rate cap. But in Terrorist Hunt, it's unlimited. So the faster you click, the faster you shoot, and that gets the trigger finger going. So if you're really efficient there, you can get, accuracy. You can get spraying with the Ash gun, and then clicking, simultaneously with the Buck DMR. You kind of get 3 different areas of warm up, so to speak.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, don't play casual, don't play rank, don't play terrorist hunt." And I think honestly, it comes down to just whatever works for you in particular.
Oh, definitely.
So,
definitely.
I mean,
I know a lot of people who actually prefer casual over ranked because they have a minute more, they can chill, they can do their thing, and also they don't have that subconscious pressure of, oh, I'm gonna lose or gain points, right? A lot of people have that as a pressure point. They're like, and it also brings out the worst in people, right? Because you don't want to lose, and then people become like negative or toxic, or they say the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong person.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gotta do you, and if you're a casual kind of player, you play casual.
Yeah.
Always check outside. I'm trying to read some of these things.
Good advice.
I've got a really good one here that I want to read for him. So this one's actually from the same person that was asking if you were single. But they say, serious question. Before you got insanely amazing and became pro, how did you get into Siege, and did you have to deal with the toxicity of the community?
Whoa,
so I got into Siege the best way you possibly can, via a friend. I have a friend I was born with. I'm a year older than he is. We were born in the same hospital. Our moms know each other. Known him my entire life. His name is Prixie. He's moderating my stream. He's a longtime friend, or forever has been my friend.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Prixie, by the way.
Awesome.
He showed me the E3 trailer back in, I guess that was back in 2000, 13, 14.
That was such a good trailer.
That was a good trailer. It was pre-rendered,
nice.
and it does not resemble the real game, but it was a good trailer.
Not at all.
But you see the helicopter and they rappel down, like that's a tactical shooter. I like that, right? It's like I was like in my head, I went, oh my god, if I play this and you play this, and like I realized friend David, we can 3-man squad this game and beat everybody. So that's when I got hyped about it. I was playing League of Legends, semi-pro at the time, so I've always been in the esports scene. And then when the game actually came out in the beta, so 2015 October, I quit League of Legends, pursued that game. And I guess I avoided the toxicity because the game base was so small back then. Everybody knew each other. If you're a plat or diamond, there was only a handful of diamond players back then, so everyone knew each other. If you're toxic, you're gone. You had no opportunity in that game whatsoever. But what I did suffer for was the hackers, because back then we had no any cheat. And
definitely.
And back then it's hard to tell when somebody's cheating or when somebody's just really good when a game is new, right? Because how good can you be?
Especially back then when the shields were glitched and you could
exactly
the John Cena thing.
Yeah,
that was
really
like
scary. You got hip fire and stuff, and there's so many new mechanics in Siege that aren't like even how sound works, like sound propagation. So it was hard to tell when a hacker was legit or wasn't. So I suffered from that, but not from toxicity itself.
So as far as like the meta now, the meta is so fast, and I'm also a beta player. I played closed and open beta, and I had the invite for alpha, but I had school stuff and it was awful. But and I remember when they took the minute away in ranked. And I was like, how the hell are we supposed to do this? This is ridiculous. Who could play in this time, you know? And then now when I go into casual, I'm like, bro, we have so much time.
4 minutes. Oh my god.
Yeah, 4 whole days to do whatever you want.
What are we supposed to do with all this time? I noticed that most of the new operators are starting to slow these things down a little bit. They're almost aimed at trapping you and making you stop and be more methodical. How are you thinking about with Alibi and Maestro, and what are your thoughts on these guys?
So Alibi is not going to be seen too much in competitive play, I think, but should be played. I think Alibi is the new Vigil, new Ella, basically, right? Great gun, 3 speed, impacts, secondary is great, 78 damage pistol, whichever. Gadget is fun. It's a new mechanic, and it's you can do a lot of like tricky stuff. Great for YouTube clips. You can troll people. You know, they shoot the clone. You go in the clone, and then you stand there, pretend you're a clone, and they walk past you. You knife them, whatever. So she's gonna be like the ranked star kind of operator for sure.
Right.
Whereas Maestro is more like a Castle or an Echo, which is specified for competitive play and for orchestrated play. So a structured team environment. He'll still be played because he's new. He has a fun LMG, he has an ACOG, and his gadget is fun to use and also arguably strong. But it's more of going to be like a competitive pick, whereas Alibi is not a casual pick, but a non-competitive
I don't know if
pick.
his gadget is more strong or
It
just
is.
annoying as hell. Like,
I think
literally
annoying
like,
is the right word.
Stop!
Yeah, for sure.
Like planting the bomb and you're just getting like pinged and you have no idea
you're being
what's going
sapped
on.
in the booty. Exactly.
It's awful.
The first day we practiced, we were playing Oregon on attack, and we run down, we breach the hatch, take map control, and we want to plant on the laundry machine at the bottom of the stairs. And we smoke everything also that we can see stuff, they can see stuff. And there's like sook 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 sound, right, coming out of nowhere, and it's the Maestro turret stabbing our planter in the booty, and he dies. And we're like, where is it, right? Like we can't see it, we can't we can't find it. And then if you take that, you take Echo drones, C4, smoke canisters. You have a lot of stuff to like. You have like a checklist. You go, 2 Echo drones, got them. Okay, 1 C4, 3 smoke canisters, 2 Maestro. Like there's so much stuff to keep track of now.
There's so many cameras now too, and especially since now you can see, like in TTS they had it, and I don't know if they're going to change it for the regular, like when they release it or whatever, but you can see like the Twitch drone in prep phase. So you have like all the drones, and then when you're a defender, you have like Valkyrie. You have the ones that like Frost and all them have now, where they took away not the claymores, the shields. They took away her shields.
Yeah.
And you have the cameras now, so you have those cameras, and then you have like the Echo drone. You can see that camera. Like there's so many cameras to click through now. And he's frozen again. No.
Oh goodness.
No. Okay. All right. I have things set up for this now.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Is
Don't
he back?
worry. Yeah, looks like he's back.
Hang on.
And Juan Carlo admins do notice. Duly noted.
Is he coming back? You see the loading.
Looks like
I'm
it.
working on
We're-
it. I'm working on it.
Here. While we're waiting, let's keep some of these kind of more edgy questions down to a minimum.
So Zeronic is going to be the next interview. That's on a Sunday. I believe it is the 17th. And I haven't set up the actual time with that one yet. So stay tuned on the page. I also have some amazing... I've got a yes response from Shati. I'm still waiting on a response from Goddess, but I've confirmed with friends of friends, like we have mutual friends in the group, that she will do an interview with us. I'm just kind of getting that logistics put together. And if there's anybody that you would like to hear from, please let us know. We would love to reach out to those people and possibly get on with them. There's a couple of bigger people that I'm trying to get, and it's... I work my magic. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Pizzas or burgers? I think of burgers. I'm going with burgers.
Give me pizza any day, as long as it's true Italian pizza, because I don't like some of that.
True Italian pizza.
Wait,
you live in.
What about
we have a
pizzas put
we have a
together
place.
to make a burger?
Oh, it's gross.
Rustin, you're just so American right now. I'm gonna need
This
you to
is
sit down.
America. Okay? This window is America right here.
Let's get 2 pizzas,
And
put a
that
burger
one
in the
over
middle,
there.
and then put
Actually-
donuts on the outside of that. All right, so
Stays on that side.
Yeah,
Pengu's back.
my internet provider is like doing some maintenance stuff. So it cuts out for a second, comes back. I don't know,
Gotta
really bad.
slap
timing.
him in the face. And
Well,
say,
it's 2:30 a.m. here, so like it's a
Oh,
perfect time, but it's the worst time at the same time.
right.
I apologize.
True. We got a few good questions while you were gone, and this one's really funny, and I feel like you'll have a good answer for this one. I'm hoping. But Elijah, and I'm terrible with last names, so I'm not even gonna try that one. But
Elijah
says, Aldos. Okay, there we go. Sounds terrible. Do you play pranks on each other in Penta?
of course.
I'll go further and say even in game, like during practices or whatever. Even in.
I would say we have a lot of fun in practice. Today we played with our new 5th player, who I still cannot say who is, and the first thing he said after we're done practicing was that he messaged Fabian and was like, "Oh my god, I had so much fun! Like we screwed around and we won, and it was really enjoyable." So I wouldn't say pranks because those are mean, but we definitely we have a very strong connection when it comes to having fun and messing with each other, calling each other names and whatnot. I would call oh, I can't say that. No, never mind. I can't say that. I was gonna leak our 5th player there for a second.
Close
You
one.
never have the
dodge the bullet.
occasional like playing a terrorist hunt together, and you kind of move your side over to somebody and pop them in the head.
No.
No,
See,
okay.
see,
No
we
mean
hate each
value
other, but we love each other. The thing is, we can't risk breaking the trust,
Right,
core,
that's
right? So,
understandable.
so when something like that happens, we go instantly, oh, I'm sorry, right? Even if it was slightly intentional, because we can't break that barrier. Like, oh, you
Like
stood
it.
there. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Whatever.
That's fair enough. I'll take that.
Let's see. I'm trying to.
So you've
look
got a
through some
lot
this
of
stuff.
love through this feed, by the way. There's so many people that are watching right now that are just amazed to see you here.
Thank you. I'm sorry for cutting out.
No, you're good. Now, the biggest thing that I've seen just today, everyone wants to know biggest tips that you might have, and I think a lot of this you've covered with your warm up with the terrorist hunt, but any additional tips you may have on getting a little bit better on their game, and maybe operator choices, just any light you want to shed on that subject.
I've always said this on streaming. People ask because it's hard to answer this question because there's
Right.
so many areas, right? But I always said that the best way to get better is to actually understand the game rather than to play the game. So I always say pick up like 3 operators on attack, 3 on defense, learn how to play them, right? Then you learn their weaknesses, and then you do that. You rotate 3 new until you're all the way through, and then you'll know what every single gadget does, how to utilize it, how it gets countered, and how you can counter it. And at the same time, you also learn what you enjoy playing, what is good to play, and then also hopefully what you wish to play, right? Because it's better to play 3 characters at a very high level or to a very high level in terms of understanding the mechanics that they provide, rather than to play every single character like a new one every round, like you can't decide, right? I think if you wish to become better or see more success, stick with a handful rather than a mouthful, so to speak.
I like that.
So
like
playing off of the earlier thing where you said you don't like prank in game and all that other stuff, there's one of them that said one of the greatest plays by Pengu is when he gave health to someone and they didn't say thank you, so you took it away.
I saw that too.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about this.
That happens. That happens.
I mean, common courtesy, right?
Yeah.
So do your friends know that you are internet famous? Do they know?
What friends? Which ones?
Like friends outside of the gaming scene, especially. If they
Outside.
exist.
Is that a DLC? No, I'm just kidding. So I've
The
always
outside
been very,
graphics are terrible.
they are, and the storyline sucks.
Yeah.
And etc. Time moves slow.
Yeah.
I've always been a lone wolf, kind of isolated kind of guy, where I've always bonded with like few individuals. Those individuals are now, well, in the military. They're going to their so I turned 20 last October, turning 21 this year. So they're all in very important parts of their lives. Some of them are even become fathers somehow, which I don't know how that happened, but I heard them people they mesh and mush and what different time. Different
They
story.
wash their laundry together with another female.
Yeah, they washed it
Husband's
with
great.
like one colors or something. And I don't know. But
I'm gonna email your mom later and tell her to explain things to you.
Please. No, but so they're in different parts of their life where video games they don't matter to them, and I respect that. And we meet sometimes in the middle where, so in Denmark when you're 16 you have something called the confirmation where you basically verify your religion, right? And it's basically just an excuse for a big party where you get drunk, which is great.
Sweet.
So we had a little touchdown, some of us old people, 20 years old people, where we met, where David was there, my old friend, who now has a long-term girlfriend. He's in the military, serving the Queen in Denmark. And we had a touchdown, and we were like on a neutral ground, no video games, no military, just in the middle. And we caught up, we chatted and whatnot, and that was really good. But other than that, it's I would say my friends are my teammates, and I find a lot of pride in the stream and the social interaction I get via that, since I stream every day. Talk to my mother on a daily basis, of course, as I live with her. Yeah. So no friends, dude.
So as far as friends with teammates, it seems like, I know chemistry-wise, in-game you and Shati had a lot of, like, you guys played off each other really well.
Synergy, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys just had like this. Obviously, we don't hear in-game chat, so we don't know what's going on between you guys verbally wise, but it almost seemed as though you had this unspoken rhythm. You guys just didn't even.
Yeah.
It just you flowed like water together. Is there somebody, now I know that happens in game, is there somebody out of game that you maybe mesh with a little bit well? I think you know where I'm going with this.
Well, so Fabian and I, we always share hotel rooms, right? Which is, so how it started very innocently. So we're both the IGLs, so Fabian and I, we shot call, we call the shots. So we thought if we share a hotel room, we could strengthen that bond and share ideologies, right? And sharing ideologies became to sharing beds, which became to sharing, showers and bathroom breaks and stuff. But no, so I don't know. We're very close. There is a story which I think is for a different time as well, but like 18 plus, where we thought we had an understanding on what the goal was of him going to the bathroom and me staying out of the bathroom, but no details to be mentioned. But we definitely we're close.
Sounds dicey. Yeah. Sounds real dicey. Right?
It was dicey. It was.
I mean, I think like Fabian, at least to me, and I know that there's a couple of people who might share this thought process, but he has this like air about him where he's just like, I'm the best, suck it, like he's always talking shit, and it's amazing. He's so, and I love it though, because like even with Liquid, he was like, well, we're the number one, you're number two. Like he was talking right before the match, and then you guys lost, and we're so gracious when it came to that loss, and like really gave it, we're like, well played, you guys were very gracious about it. But I would say there's two things that are my favorite thing about Fabian is the fact that he just talks massive shit before, and he kind of gets in their head, and I love that. And then
that's the point.
Does he really not wear shoes like in Pro League on the stage? He's wearing
apparently
socks?
Not. I don't know. I mean, we all have these rituals. So Sexy Cake from Liquid, he sits with his leg up. Like this. He plays like that, right? I have this thing where, obviously the angle of the keyboard and mouse, and I do this a lot. So I have hyperhidrosis, which is a condition that causes you to sweat a lot.
Oh, sweaty palms.
Yeah. Not even just fingertips.
Okay.
Specifically for me. So what I do is that I do this with my fingertips, right? And half my shirts are miscolored in this area because that's what happens. And that's also why I always wear a hoodie on stage, because the fabric that it's made of absorbs a lot more sweat than like the jerseys do, because these don't absorb anything, right? So that's why I always wear a hoodie.
So that's what is your tradition before going out on the big stage?
I never eat. Like I wake up, I take a shower, I don't eat anything until after the game. I just can't do it. I don't know. My stomach won't allow me. My throat doesn't want to. I don't know. And then I don't meditate, but I close my eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. Like I really focus on this 30 minutes of my life that's gonna change everything. And then what you want to achieve is called the zone. The zone is basically 110% of concentration, where you tunnel vision so hard you black out into some memory. So after a Pro League game, if you cannot remember what happened, you played really well. That's how it goes. It's basically a state where you're so focused that you don't realize what's going on around you, and you just play the game. That's like the ultimate thing to reach.
Do you guys go back after and watch all this stuff, all the playback?
Usually.
Pick it apart?
So after we win or lose a final, that's what we watch individually, I would say. One of the first things we do when we go back to the hotel room is, instead of, going to bed or whatever, is that we eat, shower, and then usually we individually watch the game back. Like when we lost to Liquid, I went out to eat with my friends who were at the LAN event, so I went to spend some time with them since they were there. What Fabian did and what Shaz and what Goga did, as far as I know, is that they would watch the game back individually, because it was a very emotional loss, tears were shed, etc. And then we kind of come back together, either late the same day or usually the next day or the day after the next day, and we kind of talk about what we experienced went wrong from our point of view, and then kind of get like a little, person by person interview, like, what went wrong in your eyes, right? What can we do better next time?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you guys have a lot of wins. You guys have the most wins out of any Pro League team.
Yeah, we do.
And you guys haven't changed from Penta. You have been Penta for a very long time. So whereas most people, it was like, Continuum, and then there's
EG,
and Elevate is CGL, which is now Beast Coast, Laxing.
Yeah, partly.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody switches up.
Skies,
and it's
Obey,
Yeah, it's sort of just been you guys on Penta for such a long time now, and I think that there's almost this dynasty. I think if you change to anything else, it would just.
Well, we want to change to something else like that. So that's the only part of my career that I haven't actually touched. Because I joined Penta as my very first team 2 years ago, and I've always represented that color. Now I have this jersey because I shared my jersey with Bullet. That's his jersey from LAN. So when they beat us, he took it off, and he was naked. I was like, oh, I take mine off too, I guess, and we just exchanged jerseys. So that's the winning jersey right here, actually. And it's weird. I had to. He wore it. I wore it. It was terrible. I had to.
Yeah, I definitely. It's gonna probably smell real bad afterwards.
It smelled real good, but real bad. Yes. So I kind of want to represent a different brand. I want to reach. So seeing as we're what we can arguably call a top tier team, we would also like to represent a top tier organization. Pence is considered a C or a D tier organization, so the size, money, and I guess exposure and how they run things. And we would like to be a B or an A tier org where we can proudly represent what equalizes what we represent on the stage in terms of skill level and performance. So we're looking to change organizations in the near future. Our contract ends up in December, and that's when we're free agents to pursue whichever. And we also had offers that we've looked at that are available. So
it's kind of scary though. Like, this is the adult world.
It is.
It's terrifying.
But it's like the only part of my career that I have never touched or even thought about touching, which is I've always had this that I want to go in this with the, let's say, 5 years I have available to do this for a living. And I want to be able to go all the way, right? I want to touch all the subjects. I want to change in all the ways I can change as a person and as a player. And I want to go in with the full experience. And the full experience is also playing for another organization than the one you started with. Because this is a comfort zone. I know the people, I've met the people, and I know how they function. And now I kind of want to be pushed by new people
You have to change the chair.
I would have to change the chair. So Noble Chairs and Penta, they were sponsored up for collaboration last year.
Just get Secret Lab chairs.
Dang chairs, right? In the colors as well. Now they're not available anymore, which is a shame. They are awesome. They are. And I would sell out and give you a link for them, but they don't make them anymore. So they're also limited edition, which makes them even cooler, right?
Damn. Okay.
See, whenever you do switch over and you decide not to go with Penta, then you could give that away as a giveaway. And
I would,
like
but the amount of hours I've sat in this and sweat in this.
Yeah.
I think my brother would love it.
Some people.
Oh, true. Oh, my God.
Well, you have Danny in here who might be very excited about that.
Who is it? The one who was asking if you're
Essence
single,
of Pengu.
she might go for it.
Right.
She might go with chair, sniff it at night. Oh,
no.
That would not be very good. That would not be very good. All right, so this is another thing that I normally do with the interviews and some of the basic questions that I ask. We get a lot of, hey, I have Elo, so what should I buy? Or not Elo, I have Renown. What should I buy?
Oh, Renown.
What should I buy? And which operator's better? What I just started. Who would you say for somebody who's fresh off the Steam account, just bought? Who would you say is the first operator that is the best for beginners?
Arbor is an operator that allows you to actually learn. So let's take Sledge as an example, right? You have a simple weapon, you have a simple gadget, you have 2 frag grenades. The diversity is very linear, right? Yeah. And then you take someone like Sophia, who can essentially achieve the same, but in a limited capacity, because her gadget has 2 explosive charges and 4 concussion charges. And a more interactive weapon, with her primary being one of the most fun weapons to use, personally. And a secondary, which is a pistol that has a red dot scope, which is the only of its kind, except for Ella, the sister on defense. So someone who's a little bit more non-linear, dynamic, someone like Sophia on attack, or something like Smoke on defense, or maybe Mirror on defense, where you can do multiple things, and your gadget can be played around yourself, but also your teammates. I think that's more fun than, like, let's say you play Ash Sledge, right, or Jaeger Bandit. It's very linear playstyles. It's very linear, opportunities that you have.
It's so funny. Every time I ask that question, they're all like completely different forks in the road.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, somebody's like, play somebody easy. You want to go dock. Yeah, somebody who can eat. You want to stay alive. Play somebody who just. Then I got another one that was like, you want to play all roamers, so you get to know the map. Like, never playing a non-roamer.
That's actually a good point. That's actually a good point, though.
Oh, okay. And then, it's funny. That's always a fun question for me to ask, because it's like totally different every time I ask it.
It's super, and it should be, right?
Right.
I really like his answer the most. I mean, play someone linear who's very. It's easy to understand, but you can still do a lot with it. Like, that's.
Well, I mean, I feel like
really smart.
As I do not have 9,000 hours in the game by any means, but somebody who has a lot of hours in the game, somebody who has a lot of hours in the game, I feel like if somebody took Smoke and wasn't a pretty efficient Smoke player, or that's a good way to be level 200 and not have anybody to play with.
In one point, yes, but if you have more to learn and it's a harder role to achieve, I feel like it's more fulfilling as a player to be able to fulfill that role.
Yeah.
As well as hopefully, well, okay, the learning part is hard. Okay, so have a friend teach you, right? As well, like, please don't be alone on that one. But I feel like it's more fulfilling to learn something that's hard than to, let's say you play Blackbeard, right? You have a face shield, you can't get headshot, you win most of your gunfights, you feel good, but then when you don't play you broke the bro code, and when you don't play Blackbeard, you feel useless because you're so subconsciously used to that mechanic. So you want to put yourself in a position where you're not being blindsided by a mechanic that favors you constantly. And by playing strong operators who are favored in most scenarios, you become blindsided. That's why I swapped off Blackbeard, essentially, because I became worse rather than better despite putting in the work.
True.
What is your favorite operator play? I know what you play in pro leagues and all that other stuff, totally different. What is yours to play personal, just running around having fun?
So I got Smoke with the Hound headgear tattooed on my arm, and I'm sick of Smoke. So we gotta change this tattoo. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kind of sick of Smoke. I've played him for the majority of my career. But I play 16 different operators in professional play, which is the current world record for versatile operators or amount of operators. Humble brag, put it in there. But no, as I said, I think Sophia is one of the most well-rounded, versatile, dynamic operators that I enjoy playing. The gunplay is really fun with the primary. And on defense, it's whatever my team needs. Because honestly, I don't have that niche pick on defense anymore. It used to be Smoke. Now it bothers me that I only have 17 bullets. Because if I get peeked by 2 opponents and I don't hit my headshots, I'm going to be reloading before killing the second guy.
Right.
And that sucks, right? But no, whatever my team needs, I guess, is what I'm on.
I've seen some of your Echo gameplay back when he first came out, and
actually.
It made me be like, I could totally do that. By the way, I can totally not do that. What do you?
That's a good point, because when Echo came out, that was actually the first time that I felt like I could create something with a new operator that I could like create the meta, right? And that's what I ended up doing, and I really enjoyed the operator a lot. But then when it became mainstream, I didn't like it, and I've always been like that because I have holes in both of my ears, which you obviously cannot tell from the camera, and they're also growing together now because it's a long time ago. But I got holes in my ears in like second grade.
Oh, you're gauged, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Gauges.
like a ring, like a little little
Okay.
yeah, whatever that is. It's called a hole in Danish. I don't know. And when everybody else got it a year later, I took mine out, and then they grew together. Right. Then in fifth grade, I got my first pair of like red pants, which back then was fashion, by the way. And then the same year, when the other guys had those red pants, I took mine off. Right. I've never been a big fan of following, but more than creating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like standing out, even though it's maybe a weird thing or a bad thing. But then essentially people start doing it too, and then it's a normal all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard a couple of, speaking along those lines, I've heard a couple of different Pro League players say the same thing, and it's well, in Pro League play, or that'll work in ranked, or, you know, so they talk a lot about how different it is. And you obviously can't constantly play. I know you scrim, I know you play LAN and all the other stuff, but when you go into ranked, what is so different? Because as somebody who plays ranked and never played a Pro League, and the vast majority of our communities never played a Pro League match before, I guess we don't understand that wording.
So LAN is, first of all, everybody plays 5 ping, right? Which is the connection to the server, which, well, there is no server, it's LAN, right?
No.
Which means that everything changes. Hit rate is basically perfect. Every single bullet is registered in an instant because it's 5 milliseconds, right?
Yeah.
Or not even. So everything you do online is often faced around a lot of like fast peeking, strafe peeking. We got the bolo peek where you QQE or EEQ where you double lean. That doesn't work at LAN because you can react with that in instant time where there's no delay with ping. As well as you're in a new environment, right? You're surrounded by noise. You can like kind of hear like the caster echo in the background. You got like a weird table and a weird chair, and there's all these strange people next to you, and there's a crowd and there's lights and stuff. So when you're at LAN, it's you're scared but you're comfortable, right? And it's just that entire experience changes how you play and how the game really works, because it's an entirely different thing. And there's so much, like, I feel like so many more mistakes gets made also because of pressure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're playing versus some of the most coordinated teams in the world where you can't just pull off ranked stuff because they're prepared for that, right? Their strats are specifically made so you can't just shift W inside the door, shoot the first guy you see, and get away with it. You get punished, right? And that's what we call a 1-for-1 trade, which is usually worth for you because you set up that 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
I don't know. How are you able to even practice with a 5 ping then?
So that's why we boot camp. Usually when you boot camp, you get a secondary team in or a team that is local, which means you can play on 20, 15, 10 ping, the lowest as possible. And then once we're done boot camping, then we go to the event where we have 2 or 3 days. So we do media the first day, and then the other teams do media the second day, and then we play the third day. So in those 2 media days, we actually get to practice against other pro league teams at the event next to each other, like straight off each other.
Yeah.
Where we have a little or we have a little like area backstage we can play, and that's where we get really used to the 5 ping environment because it's exact same connection as on stage.
Oh, I don't imagine playing at a 5 ping. I have a friend who plays at a 9 ping, and it just irritates me.
I mean,
every single time.
honestly, you should be glad you don't play 5 ping because you would feel so bad about playing like high ping online. Because the first thing we do when we get back from LAN is Q ranked, and the first like gunfight we engage with is just so different than what we had when we did LAN. So you're missing out in a good way because you don't know what you're missing out on.
Ping
I think I play on 70 ping is what I can get.
Mine's like 9 actually, because like the servers in Singapore, so
well, they've got no servers where I live, so it's not anywhere near. So getting anything less than 40 is impossible.
All right, I am solely reading this to just to end the argument in chat right now. Juan Carlo said, I hope the admins will notice this, and I'm hoping this message will get to you. Hi, Pengu. You are my idol when it comes to Siege. I am one of your fans. I'm one of your biggest fans, I imagine is what he's trying to say. I always look forward to your stream, Pro League games, and giveaways. So my birthday is coming, and one of my wishes is to be able to meet you and see you personally.
That's a tough one.
Any words? Yeah. Any words, tips, or anything
or just
from
any
you?
words or tips.
Yeah.
Or just any words or tips from you will make an upcoming birthday the best.
I think all the tips we've gone over applies for you as well, obviously. And then, first of all, happy almost birthday. If you want to meet me or wish to meet me, that is possible at LAN, where we're going to be attending, which is across the world. You know, we've been to Brazil, we've been to Canada, we've been to Austin, New Jersey. We're going to Valencia in Spain next month, and we'll go to Paris the month after.
Oh yeah,
So,
Paris.
if you are almost anywhere in the world, at some point, the next couple of years, there should be a LAN event nearby, and that is when you need to take the initiation and go there, right? So we meet in the middle. I go there, and then you're nearby, you go there too, and then we meet in the middle, and all is good.
So out of all those places you have traveled, where's your favorite?
Probably Montreal, because the entire event was just, or New Jersey. So I've never been to America.
New Jersey? Okay, go for
yeah.
it. Let
me. I'm not. No, that's an explanation.
I'm born in Jersey, so I'm interested in this one because that would not be my end in a million years.
I was told it was a shithole before I got there. Okay, but that's not the point. I've never been to the US before.
Jersey, yeah.
Well, he's never been to the US, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So it wasn't it wasn't the area. It was more like so how you work in America is that you communicate a lot. Like I'm in the elevator, people say hi, and they question why I got this shirt on and stuff. They're like, oh, what do you do here? In Denmark, we look the other way. We go, oh, there's a guy over there. I'm gonna go over here, right? So in America, I could talk to people and they would talk to me, and they really respect authority. And I picked up like sir and ma'am and miss, right? I started approaching people with sir, which I respect authority back, and you're treated well. Service is great because you work on a tipping system, whereas we're working on a wage system in Denmark, which means service is terrible. It's terrible.
Don't fucking cuss. It's a bad fucking influence. Go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I just liked it. Like you got everything's cheap, and Denmark's one of the most expensive places to live.
It's
a lot of places. Yeah, we pay like 45% taxes as well, and I'm not bitching about that because that's great. We get healthcare, etc. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
But it was just nice to be there. I could walk around. I could buy food with like pocket change compared to Denmark. I could go to McDonald's and get a meal for like $5 or $10. In Denmark, we're talking $35. Right?
Ooh. What?
No,
even for McDonald's, that's crazy.
McDonald's expensive.
I lived my early 20s as a dollar millionaire. Like
we don't have a dollar menu. Period. We don't.
What?
Double, and you gotta get the chicken and you put it together.
Okay,
that's crazy.
So I feel like some of your stuff about the U.S. may be a little bit skewed. So Jersey's not necessarily known for it being the sweetest area on the planet. You just met some tourists because normally they would ignore you and walk right by you. So you met tourists who are not from that area. They're probably from the South. That's where I live now, and they will say hi, honey, and all that other stuff to you. So that's not normal. Jersey is kind of dirty. It is, but they have great radio stations.
We don't like dirty? Dirty is
it's a little dirty. They have great radio stations. Right? Like if you want a Jamaican radio station, they got you. You need a black country rap, they got you. Like they have everything. Their radio stations are on point. But yeah, I think that if you went to some place like, I mean, even if you went to DreamHacks in Texas, I think that it would have been.
Texas is a very friendly place, though.
But how you gotta
about DreamHack? I don't know.
How you gotta look at it is that if I enjoy the place that isn't very enjoyable, then I'm only going to enjoy the enjoyable places more.
He's got a point.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm just really shocked Jersey was your. I was born in Jersey. I'm shocked.
You need to check out New Mexico. New Mexico is probably one of the friendliest places in the United States.
Combined double cheeseburger and McChicken sandwich. I thought I was the only one that did that. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, because I said you put them together.
Yeah,
exactly. The McGangbang is what it's called.
Oh,
the McGangbang.
That's gross.
McGangbang, but it's good. It's good. I mean, it sounds disgusting.
It sounds like a heart attack.
Pengu, I'm gonna recommend you don't ever move to the U.S. because you will not be the same size you are now.
That's
my.
You look like me.
Look at I'm perfect, dude. Come on.
Yeah, but now
if you move over to America, you probably look like me instead.
To New Mexico, you'll get the dad bod like I've got.
And NA servers are terrible.
The thing, I don't know, like, I have a crazy metabolism, dude. Like, I lose weight when we travel because I don't eat, like, as often as I do here. You know, it's crap food. Like, I don't know, like, I just cannot gain weight. So I'm stuck with the 15-year-old boy look here for a couple years. Okay.
And that's why I was really surprised when you said you were 20.
Yeah,
I'm 20 as well, and
exactly.
I look like I'm like 28 or something.
Yeah, you look old.
Yeah, I look young.
All
Tattoo's
right.
helping a little bit. That's the best I can do, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has any more questions for Pengu, but we are rounding about the hour mark. I think, give or take a few with the technical difficulties.
Disconnects.
Yeah. So, and I know he's got some stuff he's got to do. So, if anybody else has anything else,
Right.
to
One
say.
question I've seen going around a lot, like, what are your thoughts on people like Sergio, the bald genius?
The god.
Yeah, the god,
Well,
bald
I
genius.
think Sergio is Sichi's Dr. Disrespect, right? Because it's a character.
Yeah.
I could see that. I never looked at it that way. All right.
That's how I see it. Because I met the guy in real life at LAN, and on camera the guy is like terrible douchebag, whatever, right? But the guy is funny, like behind the scenes, and he's a like his mother is like a semi-professional like music maker and stuff like that with the violin or something.
Cool.
So like he comes from respect and authority, and he comes from wealth as well, as far as I know. So the guy understands how life works, despite not making it seem like he understands how life works, right? No, he's funny. He's a comedian, if anything.
Yeah,
I like it.
that's how I see it as well.
And it's actually funny because Sergio was one of the people that helped me grow as a streamer because he made a video called I Spawn Peak Pengu Penta, which is his most viewed channel video on YouTube.
Ooh, cool.
And it was back when I had 10 viewers on Twitch, and he linked my Twitch in the description, and that grew my stream a lot. So
That's great.
we go way back.
That's super nice. I forgot. So I do ask all. I know that you don't necessarily play Siege on console, but you have played console before. What do you think about mouse and keyboard on a console?
I think it's cheating because a console is with a controller and a keyboard and mouse is with a PD.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody so far has said that, but we still get people who that's another big thing that comes into our
it is. Yeah.
our community.
Well, the thing is that with PlayStation 4 and Xbox is doing this soon too, there are going to be certain games that you can play with a mouse and keyboard. I believe Sea of Thieves is going to be one because you can already cross-platform PC and Xbox with Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
So
Same
I
with
feel
Rocket
like
League.
exactly like Rocket League 2. So you should be able to play the games that they say you can, but I think having to buy a second modular thing, I think that's cheating.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you agree.
Elijah's asked, do you have a good relationship with anyone from EG?
So any teams like to stick to themselves, like they're very close in their in their groups.
Lexus said the same thing.
Yeah. Like it's like, funny because I actually got it from Goddess and Fox because Beast Coast is like the most open NA team you can find. I spoke to them at LAN. They're super open about like contract stuff and salary, and we compared like experiences and stuff like that. Whereas you ask another NA team what the salary is, like they're like, oh, it's a number that's bigger than yours or whatever, right? Something douchey or whatever. just to throw you off, right? Be like, oh, I wonder. Where Beast Coast is like super humble and open and kind, and they seem like they're not there to compete but to be friends, which is wrong, but it's amazing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So no, Beast Coast is great.
I know that Beast Coast is one of the new Pro League teams that got into Pro League, or one of the new teams that got into Pro League.
Yeah.
Is it sort of like a Pro Leagues kill their young type thing? Or are you guys kind of welcome with open arms and like, hey, here's the headset, here's the chairs, this is what it's like? Like, I mean, are you guys all super cool, or is there some that just like Beast Coast? Obviously, I mean, I've seen through Twitter, you and Goddess have gotten along really, really well and go back and forth a lot. And then, is it like that with everyone, or is it kind of just like a...
No, it's usually so IDK was the team that qualified from EU, which are former Pro League players, so they obviously meshed. They were already in the group zone, right?
Right.
Usually when people come from Challenge League, they're looked at as the weakest, if not too weak of a link, because they don't have the respect, because it's really easy to qualify from Challenge League. Technically, because you beat the bottom team, like, wow, you're a big deal now. Good luck beating the top tier teams, right? But I think it depends on the players purely, because Goddess and Foxa and the Beast Coast squad, except for Retro, were all amateurs who then became pro players recently.
Yeah.
And they really came into the scene like pretty big. Like they got accepted, they stream. Like Fox is even a commentator, analyst, caller thing on at LAN. So they did a really good job of actually being there as a public figure of the community. Whereas some teams, the second they go there, they kind of step back, they play their game, and then they tweet out, "Oh, GG, we lost 2-0, or we won 2-0, or whatever," and then they step back again, and then next week they do the same thing, right? Very, very orchestrated, right? They don't really have a personality, so to say. And I think if you come in as a former amateur, coming into a pro scene, if you don't build a personality, you're not gonna get picked up on by the eyes, right? By organizations, by other teams, by fans, because people need something to be attached to. And if you're just like, oh, we lost, oh, we won, GGVP, there's not much to be attached to, right? Unless you're just super competitive.
You just gotta make a name and a face for yourself, like, you know.
Yeah, you do. Like Fabian is one of the biggest douchebags we have, but he's also one of the most spoken of people for the same reason, right?
Right.
And someone's gotta be the bad guy.
And I see that from you just having this interview with you. You're such a lively personality to have, and you're cool with just talking about whatever it is to talk about. And I can see, you know, that kind of going hand in hand with what you said about having a personality on stage.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they're very like, so I know Fabian is very opposite of what I am. So Fabian's very open and lively and animated too, like he hands and stuff. But Fabian really likes to separate his personal life from his online life, right? He has two personalities. He's Fabian, and then he's also Fabian because it's the same name, right? He's his real name.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm Pengu and I have Nicholas, but they're the same person. Just one is on screen, one is off screen, right?
Right.
So it depends how you are as a person. Some people separate it, and some people they mesh it. I found it easier to mesh it because that my life is so much about video games that. Well, if I don't mesh it, then Nicholas is just, 2 hours out of 24, right? Yeah. Whereas someone like Fabian, who doesn't stream every day, well, he's Fabian more than he's online persona. So he likes to separate it.
I like it.
I think that Beast Coast has gotten a lot of attention recently because they came just exploding on. They like Kool-Aid Manned into the pro league. Like, hey guys, we're here. And then also having a female player who is IGL, a coach, all of that. Yeah. And I mean, she's kind of, but at the same token, from the community, they've had this 50-50 thing where you either love them or you hate them, and it's kind of making we're making everybody touch gloves at this point because they're.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I think it's great as well considering that she's the first so-called professional girl player in Siege, and I think she's doing pretty well. And Siege as a community is not, so negative as say like Overwatch, where there was a lot of drama when their female players came in. So I'm glad that Siege is what it is right now, considering that I started in December as well, and the Technic community and everything was great.
Yeah,
for everyone.
Like we actually just had somebody who is going to be getting banned, by the way. That they said some pretty terrible things about Goddess in.
A lot of people do.
Right,
and another comment too right now.
My thing is with that whole thing is everybody says that she's overweight and all this other stuff, and I have yet to see from another towards another male pro league player who the vast majority of them happen to be overweight, the same comment. And then they say, oh well, she's not a top fragger. But she's an anchor for the vast majority, and she's a diffuser holder. So if you don't understand the way the game is played, you have no right to speak about it. I think that there's a lot of misconceptions with her, and I mean, I think that there's a lot of education that needs to go on. But
no, there is. I mean, I actually spoke to Goddess about this last night. Basically 24 hours ago. Yeah, she is, and she's open about it too, and she knows it's an issue, like the whole what's happening, right? And she's choosing to ignore it, but she's still affected by it because how can you not be?
Right.
And it's a shame because so I'm the opposite of Goddess. Like some people they comment on her weight as an example. I get the same thing because I'm a walking stick, right? I'm literally a stick. Like my bicep goes with my arm. It doesn't change. So I kind of know where she's coming from because I definitely have gotten those comments as well, and I still do it on stream and whatnot. And you never really learn to deal with it, but you just kind of start to ignore it and appreciate. So I had this discussion today where Fabian tweeted out about he was very unhappy with Parabellum coming out the 7th and probably starting 7 days later for EU and 5 days later for NA, which means that probably teams essentially have less than a week of practice to learn 2 new maps, 2 new operators, and all the changes, right? That's not acceptable to our standards. And then Fabian said, Nicholas, which is me, by the way. My real name is Nicholas. He said, when people like my tweet, it must be because they're agreeing with me, right? And I said, when people like your tweet, it's partly because they're agreeing, but you often see people voice their concern when they're disagreeing rather when they're agreeing. So that's why when you post something, people will not take a second to like dump you, right? They'll instantly comment, oh, you suck, or your opinion doesn't matter, or you're overweight, you're dumb, you look funny, you have a big nose, whatever, right? And then you get like 500 likes and you get 5 bad comments. But those 5 bad comments, they usually outweigh the 500 people that agree with you simply because that they don't voice their opinion, right? You can't really weight a like versus a comment, and it's a really hard one to mentally judge. You gotta weight the bad with the good. Like, that's how I've learned it. And we get so much love from fans and from people across the world when we go to LANs, and also when we do stuff like we do now with podcasting, etc. So you just gotta bounce that out weight-wise. I think that's the best way to do it.
That's a hard lesson. I mean, everybody can say it. You can say it, but doing it is different. I think that's.
Oh yeah, no,
that's
it's
a hard thing to learn.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that one whole time, during the whole trash pigeon thing on Facebook, and then people called me Kim Jong-un, like dictator and everything for banning everyone. Yeah, but that as well, people say, just put it aside, but it does affect people one way or another.
Oh, it does. And it should, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I get being, I'm just trolling. Yeah, but these are people's lives. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand that this is people's lives that we're messing with, and I don't know.
No, it's easy to be on a computer screen to throw words around, right? And I think that's been said 1,000 times. Because when we go to LAN, people that cheer for Rogue, they cheer for EG. We're in NA, they should be cheering for NA teams. But then they walk up to you afterwards and say, I'm an EG fan, but you guys played great. Or I'm an EG fan, but I hope you guys would have won, right? And those same people are probably, not all of them, of course, but at least one of them is the same person who went online on my Twitter and commented something stupid, right? Probably.
Yeah.
But when you're in person, when you got the face-to-face, when you got identity, you got authority, and you got no privacy because now they're exposed, that's when it changes.
Exactly.
So Elijah wants you to know, Pengu, you are absolutely gorgeous. Don't let anyone tell you differently.
Nice. That's important to know.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
just to
this one, I want to read this one real quick too.
Yep.
Go ahead, Brian. You finish up first, and then I'm gonna read.
All right. Yusuf Rasul wants to ask, how do you deal with blitz in like higher up gameplay? Because there is a very broad spectrum of blitz players, and he wants to know how do you fight that in like
blitz is the new bro code. So like I feel like Blackbeard was bro code. Now blitz is like the new bro code.
Yeah, but how do you deal with him?
So how we do it is that we have a rule that says never fight the blitz alone. Like, that's the only way we can orchestrate it. So when Lion was in the meta, the issue would be that you're off alone and you can't really run away because you get lined. That means you'll get wallbanged, right? But now that Lion is not so much more in the meta anymore, at least on competitive scene on PC, when you face a blitz, you sprint 180 away from him, you set up a crossfire so that worst case scenario, you get the 1-for-1 trade, which we said was worth earlier, right? And the best case scenario, you get a 1-for-0 trade, which means that you're at a man advantage because you're 4 versus 5 and the blitz is dead. So don't isolate yourself where you can get caught off, because let's say that the only way back to your team is via an area where there's someone with a gun looking towards you, then that's where you're screwed, because you can't beat the blitz, and if you run, you get shot by an enemy. So don't isolate yourself so far off the pack that you cannot get back. I think that's the only consistent way of approaching it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that's really helpful for a lot of people that I play with too. Because they're like, I see blitz, I'm gonna get them, and they'll just rush them.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're
and
dead
it
Run
happens.
the other way.
Exactly. Gotta go the other way, buddy.
Right, I run the other way.
Well,
side
note,
my argument was just shoot him in the feet.
I will say a lot of people hate Castle as an operator, but I have seen so many amazing Castle players just fuck with blitz. They will literally Castle blitz off, come around and get them from behind, or they'll castle things off beforehand. They have nothing to do with the objective, so no one's getting trapped in. But they'll just have that, like, this is the point where I'm going to push them this way so they can't get through and someone else can flank behind. And I think people don't ever see castle like that. But if more people played castle like that, I feel like he'd be more usable, and you'd see him a lot more.
Castle isn't very played or valued because that he requires like a team cohesion for it to valuably work, right? Even in Diamond rank, Castle is one of the least played operators, and there was actually a poll made by Rogue9, who's a little bit more of a casual YouTuber, but for the entire scene. And in that vote, I believe Castle was actually rated. Well, Shashank gave the least useful, but Castle being the second least useful. But then you look at Pro League stats, and Castle's like top 7 in pick rate, right? So I think it's just the team cohesion and strat-wise that enables and disables Castle.
I like it. Well, are we out of time?
Oh, wait, one more. This is actually really important, and I like it. One last one, and then we're done. No more after this.
Okay.
All right. What was your biggest takeaway from the match loss against Team Liquid?
I like it.
I thought that was important.
The biggest takeaway is probably lack of adaptation and lack of preparation. So, and also I think so. We played the first map Bank. We won 5-1. Kento went like 11-1 in terms of frags, I believe, and he single-handedly just showed them that we're a better team, right? Or that he was a better one-man team at least.
Yeah.
Second map, we end up losing 6-5, so max overtime on border. And I think the way we lost the last round, so it was 5 versus 5, we planned it on attack, and within 5 seconds, it's 1 versus 5, right? I think that the way we lost and the fact that we lost that actually demoralized the entire team to the point where we mentally lost the third map already. I think that's where the big heal lies. And it was simply a lack of preparation on the Lion Dokkaebi combo that they ran, that we lost multiple rounds on where they were just Dokkaebi Lion, and then we were caught off the bomb side, and we couldn't sprint back because we get wallbanged, right? So they take the bomb side control 5 versus 2 because we got 3 roamers, and that worked twice, which is 1 time too many, or arguably 2 times too many. And essentially that's actually why we lost, because if those rounds weren't, if they didn't go that way, the results would have been different. So we lacked adaptation, and that's why we fell short, and then we definitely came in empty-handed mentality-wise on the third map.
Gotcha.
Because you weren't expecting the last map?
No, I mean, Consulate wasn't our strongest map, and we know that Liquid's really strong on it as well. And we really wanted and expected us to win border. And then again, the way we lost it was just like, okay, we got beaten by a better team. We can settle down here. We don't have to go for a third map and go get 5-0'd, right? We can just lose here and it's fine. We'll handle with the trophies. But then they shoved us 5-1 on the last map, and it was a return favor from Pengu earlier. So.
Yeah, I would say it was kind of like the dramatic irony that Fabian was the last man against them.
Yeah. I think that was actually like almost scripted. Like Fabian's 1 versus 4, 1 versus 5. The face, like his facial expression is like, and what he said in TeamSpeak was that, guys, I don't think I can win this one this time. We're like, nah, it's fine, dude. It's fine. And he's like, I'm just gonna go and die now. We're like, yeah, we're ready to lose. It's fine. We're prepared. So,
All right. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us. It was a lot of fun, and the community was super stoked about this one. So, and next week we will be with Fabian. I am working on the times. I'm pretty sure we have a time locked down. I want to double check with him before. He's kind of hard to get in touch with because he doesn't check his Twitter as much as he should. So
before we close this, we had a couple of people ask about playing with us. If any members want to play with any of us admins, just message us personally. We're always free. Well, not always free, but we're usually free. We're more than willing to play with people. So just message us on our personal accounts, or you can even message our Facebook main community page. That's the page, not the group. And we'd love to play with you guys, and we can even stream it too.
I stream a lot, so you are more than welcome to go to my stream, and I pick up people all the time. I mean, most of the people I have are really good friends of mine that I've picked up on stream. So,
and we've got players on all 3 platforms, so no matter what you play, no matter what you do, hit us up, and one of us would be more than willing to play with you.
Nice. And stay tuned for a giveaway. There's going to be 3,200 credits and a Go for Charm on the line in the near future.
Love it.
I win.
Yeah. I knew that.
Yeah, we ain't gonna rig that for you.
Make ourselves eligible? I feel like that'd be wrong.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think we're
is,
allowed
it
to do
is.
that. I don't think we're allowed to do
Good
that.
kind of wrong though.
I am actually going to let Pengu go. I'm going to stay with you three just for a second. Keep the stream going for a little while because we do have some stuff to discuss with the community.
Right.
But Pengu, thank you so much. Like,
Thank you.
We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So.
Right, take care.
Thank you.
You've been awesome,
Bye.
man.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
Keep it
Bye-bye.
funny.
Yeah.
My hands suck.
All right, I gotta get this situated really quick before I don't know how this is gonna work. Oh, I might have had it. Wait for it. Technical difficulties. I can do this.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't think I can do this. I don't know how this is
All
supposed to
right.
work out. You know what? We're just gonna
Alright,
do
so
this.
to adjust the chat.
Yeah. So let me do this really quick. I'm just gonna.
At Becca, yes, that
He's
was
got
Shay's
the
dog.
Pengu heart emo or little
no,
icon
it's
in
so
the
cute.
chat. That is adorable.
I'm gonna need Nitro for that.
All right, I'm trying to make this really quick. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I had it all set up and then it broke.
At Bryson, we are the admins, so we have eyes and ears in the chat everywhere.
I don't know about all that.
And Robin Alexander. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple of questions directed towards us, so I wanted to go ahead and just talk about those really quick while we had the chance to. And I'm making a scene right now. I'm so sorry. It's taking me so long.
At Mustafa, the next person hopefully we're getting is Fabian from also Penta. So I'm very sure everyone will want to watch that as well.
Yeah,
I thought it was confirmed. Was it confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 100% confirmed. Yeah, I'm just waiting on the
Okay.
time because I told him one time, and I think that I might have to work. So this is a little bit
Now-
better. I don't know. So I saw a really important question from Danny, and it was about she doesn't play anymore. She's a level 20. She does not play any longer because she is a female and
Yeah, I saw
has
that
been getting
too.
a lot of hate. Now, I've got to admit, I do get my fair share of hate, and I'm not gonna. Oh God, what just happened?
Okay, can I
This
like
is
take off my jacket now?
Awful.
I'm really getting really hot.
I hate this. Wait, hang on.
Okay.
Everything's getting all messed up. Hang on.
Goodness, Shay, what are you doing?
I'm
You're
messing it
destroying
up.
this
Ooh,
establishment.
Brian,
Okay.
showing some shoulder, are we?
Oh, yeah.
So, one of the big things that I did notice was that I could not speak in, especially on PC, because you can do like the game chat versus team chat, and I couldn't speak with my voice as a female in a. And we've talked about the vag badge quite a bit, and I do try to limit it. The only time I do speak in actual chat is normally when it's like one other person.
Now, hold on.
And the
I
rest
feel
of the
so
team is
bad.
mine. But
I feel bad that I coined that term, though. I feel bad for
Oh,
coining that.
nasty.
Joe,
Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'll explain what that is in a second. But the only time I'll actually speak is if there's only one other person, and the rest of my people are mine. Because if they team kill me, my team's gonna take care of it immediately. And unfortunately, that's just it is what it is.
Right.
I think there's toxicity no matter what, and I don't think that me having a vagina makes me any better or worse of a player than any other boys out there. I have no problem
agree.
fragging a game, and I have no problem dropping a donut every now and then. It just is what it is. And I don't think that I'm going to let the ignorance of another person change me having fun in a game. And I have met some really amazing people playing this game and doing it for as long as I have. I've played, like I said, since both the betas, and I love it. I've played since Rainbow Six 1 and Vegas and Vegas 2. So I think that there's toxicity no matter what, and I'm not going to let it affect me. So I don't think it should affect you if that's a game you really love to play, because you're going to find toxicity walking out in the street. It just is what it is.
Don't give up on it. Like
Right.
she said, when you come across those toxic players, you know what? They're a shitty person trying to make themselves feel better, probably because they have shitty things going in life. And that's not your fault, you know what I mean? I understand it probably happens a lot, but never give up on a game because someone's shitty. My wife and I both play on PC now. She doesn't play Rainbow, but we'll play Overwatch together. And, you know, we've come across some really shitty people, but my wife does something different. What she does is she talks shit right back.
I'll do that every now and then.
Feisty.
Most of the time, when she does, they shut right up, and it's hilarious because they realize that they're just a sad little weak man.
Yeah.
Well, the vast majority of the people, if you do, normally, I know this sounds weird. Normally, if I'm solo queuing and I happen to say something because I'm slipping up and I want to let them know that Ella's coming or Caviar is right there, you know, and I'll slip up and say something in chat really quick, and then I'm like, oh, fuck, because they'll be like, grill, vagina, you know. Then it gives me that motivation that just makes me want to out-frag them, and I'll drop like 10, and they're like, oh, and they kind of just shut up and let me do my thing, you know, like 9 times out of 10, if you just shut them up and put them in their place.
Danny, what platform are you on? I know that's going to take a little bit to transfer.
Yeah, I'm Xbox and PC.
Yeah, same
Master
here.
Race right here.
But he also plays on PS4. He plays PS4 too, don't you, Brian?
Yeah, Bryson, Secret Lab chairs. I do have a PS4. I play Siege on PS4 as well, but I mostly do it on PC. I've not touched my PS4 in months.
Yeah,
so...
me and Shay and I both are on Xbox. I still play Xbox and PC equally.
I don't. I'm PC Siege only, but Xbox Fortnite.
Fortnite? Ew, get out of here.
Yeah, Fortnite isn't my thing whatsoever.
Oh man,
I tried getting into it.
Got 3 W's last
never
night.
my thing.
Victory Royales, baby.
I don't know. PUBG's more of my thing, even though people complain about it. You know, I super
You're
PUBG.
good, I'm not. I can't
Danny plays on PS4, so we should get Brian. Get this chick added. Get her playing again. We have other admins that play on PS4 in the US and in the UK.
All over the world.
Jamie.
What servers do we play on? I play on Eastern US. I think Rustin is either Central or Western US, but he'll play with me on Eastern.
I'll play
South.
I'll play all over the world. I don't care.
I
don't care.
I'm on Southeast Asia.
Yeah, and then we
basically
have some
Singapore.
EU. We have a couple of EU people. We have 1 Australian.
Yep.
2.
2.
Okay. 2 Aussies. Okay.
We have Aussies. Hannah and no.
Yeah. Hannah and the Pagan as well.
Pagan. That's right. The
Can't believe
newbies.
you forgot her name.
Well,
yeah,
no.
Moderators.
Wait, hold on. It's because I had been AFK
well, fair enough.
for a week. So all the newbies came in while I had been AFK. So that's my fault. I'm still trying to learn everybody's.
I'm actually crying. You guys are so freaking nice. I just don't think that it's actually. Pengu did say it very well. He did word it very well, and I think that it is really an important aspect of this is the fact that they're not. The toxic ones are louder than the non-toxic ones, but the non-toxic ones, there's far more of us, and we do say stuff. We're just not out there screaming it because we don't need to. Like, there's no point. You scream hate.
I will say this, and I think almost anybody that I know personally is a little guilty of being toxic every now and again. It happens. Yeah. You know. But I think there's a big difference in personally attacking someone on a video game because you know their gender or their sexuality or whatever, or just the occasional I'm team killing guy because he reinforced a wall. You know what I mean? Like that. Okay, don't team kill him for reinforcing a wall, but that's really not as bad as hey, fuck you because you like penis or you like vagina, or because you have a penis or a vagina. Like that's where you shouldn't. Yeah, but.
I'll team kill you right away if you put a mirror on garage. 100%. I won't even think twice about it.
If you put a mirror on garage?
Yeah, on any garage. If you put a mirror and I'm bandit, I will team kill you immediately, and I won't even think about it. And I could give 0 fucks.
I mean, I double mirror house garage on the left occasionally.
So,
how do we feel Ubisoft deals with toxicity? I feel like
a lot.
I feel like there's a lot of false reporting. So there's a lot of people who are like,
definitely.
Oh, I don't like how you did this. I'm reporting you. So they have to weed out those ones, and that makes it a really complicated issue. And then you have the ones that report, like on console. I know Xbox, because I was an Xbox player. You have the ones that report to Xbox, but that doesn't go to Ubisoft. And then they'll blame Ubisoft for not getting the report, whereas that actually goes to the Xbox. You know, so I think that there's a lot of room for improvement, but I don't think Ubisoft or Xbox can be blamed for any of not controlling it all, because you guys are out there, the ones doing it. We have 150 some odd thousand people in this group, and we have to have so many admins on 24 hours a day because there's people in here being toxic little shits for absolutely no reason and personally attacking people.
You shall get banned.
We have very young players who are coming in here and are really excited because they got an ace, and it just so happens to be in casual, and then they're ripped to shreds for absolutely no reason. And I mean, I think that it's more of a, instead of saying, oh, you're terrible, sell your game, it should be more of a, hey, that was actually really good, congrats on your ace. Why don't you try to work on this? This is what helped me improve my aim. This is what, and maybe you should turn your sensitivity down, or go ahead and turn your sensitivity up. Like, stop sitting there bashing each other and just help each other out. And then you'd have more people to play with, and you could actually get a 5-man. There's
like a lot of people just they complain without giving solutions to the problems.
Right.
And that's there's no point doing such things. Like a lot of people, even in the group, they comment like, oh, this guy's bad, this guy doesn't do this. But how can he improve if you're just, telling him he's wrong but not helping him?
Right.
It kind of irks me as well, because it happened to me a lot when I was getting good at FPS in general. And hi, Cameron.
Yeah.
So, just offer your criticism if you have any good things. If you have nothing nice to say, just shut up.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So to explain on what we were talking about earlier, the Vag badge.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is something that I've seen Shay do. Well, hold on, Shay.
But it works, and I do it for my teammates, and it works, and it's a thing. And don't out me, because it's not going to work anymore if you say things about it.
You have done.
Damn you.
You've done it one time for me. You've done it one time for me.
I do it for Skizzy all the time.
Yeah, and I'm like, I felt so bad when you did it for me. But what the Vag badge is if you're you can even be a guy and get away with this if you've got the right voice for it, right? So we'll be playing. I was playing and I was like, damn it, someone took Jackal. I really wanted to play Jackal.
And then I come in and I'm like,
she's
hey, can I get Jackal, please? Immediately drops it.
Immediately drops it. And like, but the way you said it, the way it came through, it just sounded like a dainty girl. Like, hi, can I please get Jackal because I'm a girl? Please,
can I get Jackal, please?
No, I literally say it just like this. I'm like, hey, can I get Jackal, please? Boom.
Yeah. So Danny says, Shay, you're a queen. I completely look up to you and respect you so much. I will get back in there, and one day I'll be able to give it back to you. Give it back like you. Thank you all, guys. You're all such beautiful people.
Warms my heart. Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
we
Danny,
love you.
You should. Yeah. And if you ever get on PC, let me know. I'm TS Wicked Savage.
Oh.
Don't give up on games. For me, I've got a couple of weird.
Why are you lying, Skizzy? I'm not lying.
Is that Skizzy?
Yeah.
Get out of here, Skizzy. Get out of here. But Siege is probably one of the best stress reliefs I have, Like if you're Shay, I'm sure everybody can agree. We've all got stress in life, Like I got 2 kids, from 2 different moms, and my wife lost her job this last month. I've been rustling to make rent and every single bill on $10 an hour in the United States. That's not an easy thing to do, and we managed it. So it's just Siege is like my escape from it all, So it's never give up. It's probably one of the best stress reliefs you can have in this crazy, insane world we live in today.
Dave, why won't you put a mirror on garage? Because Bandit should do actively here and shouldn't.
You shouldn't need a mirror.
I don't need a mirror. It's a waste. And then my thing is I don't need a mirror, and I'm banking on. I always hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So I'm banking on the fact that they have a Twitch, and that Twitch is going to take that Mira out before I get a chance to bandit those thermites, and then you just fucked my whole thought process. So it's easier for me if I take that out of the equation, and you can't even, I have that garage door, trust my abilities. The only thing I need really is a Jaeger and someone to watch wherever they're coming from. And for the most part, you guys already have that covered. Like, my team knows already. And if a random comes in and puts Mira on there, I will kill you before you get it placed. I can do my job.
Bryson is asking all of our ranks.
Well, that's not fair right now because of the road to copper. I knew what you were doing. I knew what you were doing.
Because Shay refuses to play casual.
Oh yeah,
so
I
only play ranked.
Yeah.
But I get it. That's cool.
All ranked, all bump. Well, and then I did a road to copper on Xbox and on PC.
That's cheating.
Why? I made it to bronze 2, and I couldn't lose anymore. I literally couldn't do it. It was
I thought you were doing road to drop your rank.
Bryson, just check out the link I tagged you in.
To dropping your rank back down, that's cheap. That is cheap. I don't want to play with higher players, so I'm gonna drop.
Oh, it has nothing to do with that. It's just to see how you could get low. Hell no, but I do look like a god in like silvers. Oh.
Yeah, see, you guys feel like you're god in silver, but I'm consistently hitting plat every single season.
Yeah.
Oh, poor you, sitting on your plat throne.
Every single season except for Dustline.
I'm a solid gold player. I'm a very good gold. I will very well hold my own. I'm probably a solid gold 1, maybe a low end plat 3, but I prefer gold. That's where I like to stay, and that's normally where I am. Really? I do. I think plats, to me, I'm not a highly competitive person. I'm not somebody who's like, oh, I have to, I have to win every single. I'm just not that person. So when it gets super try-hardy, I don't have fun with it anymore. And the whole point of game for me is to have fun. So I prefer the golds and silvers don't really like have that. I want to be fucking diamond. They're not as try-hard. And even when they try to be, they're not that good at it, so I can beat them,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mustafa, do I look toxic to you? I'm plat every season. I'm a good boy, okay? I do.
No,
well.
you're not.
He is not a good boy.
Yeah, I am. I'm a good boy.
He's a liar, and he cannot be trusted.
I'm Asian. Trust
not
all
how
Asians.
plats are
Asians
toxic,
are good.
first of all.
That's not helping yourself,
So,
right?
Chris Gomez, he's actually on my team. I play with him every single day. And he's one of the most toxic people you ever meet in your life. So that's not. And Brian is also on my team. Bryant is also on my team, and you do not carry me. One, I don't play even Siege on Xbox with you, and you do not carry me. So suck it. Get a PC, join the Master Race.
Ouch.
I myself have been plat every season on Xbox, plat 1. The highest plat as always. So it's plat 1. Before it was plat 3.
4.
So
Yeah.
I've always been up there. No, it's plat 3 and then you went to diamond. There's no 4.
Try.
But there was way back.
No, there wasn't.
Maybe there was.
Was it season 1?
Right. I think season 1.
Yeah. Like when the old icons were in.
I can't get to diamond. I try so many times and I just can never get there. But you really need a team to get you past that. For me personally, and that's just my play style. Other people can do it. I can't. That's fine. If you can do it, good for you. If you can't, maybe you'll find a team. Maybe we'll play together. On PC though, I got placed in plat 1. And
that's a lie. You
can't get placed in plat 1.
Oh, yeah, that's impossible.
No,
that's a lie right there.
I'm sorry. Gold 1. I'm sorry. It was gold 1.
That's a lie.
Down to silver 2.
Let's go.
I'm sorry. Gold 1, and then I was with you. I was with you, Shay, when I got placed, and then I dropped down to silver 2.
Were you with me?
Because of you.
Oh,
Mustafa. Because we were doing that road to diamond. I told you already.
Oh, Abdul Hamid, that's not very nice. Hello?
She says I lie. What? Hello?
Yeah.
I can hear you guys.
Alright, so Mustafa says you need a team to pass gold, and that's a lie because I have a couple friends who solo queued all their way to plat, and plat on Xbox is copper on PC. That's not true. I have also had another friend who transitioned from Xbox to PC. He plays just as good on both. But even though I don't talk to him much nowadays, but he's still a good player. So that's a misconception.
I have a friend who's switched, who's a consistent plat, and when he switched to PC, it took him maybe 2 weeks to kind of really get comfortable with the way the controls were and how, because the meta's a little bit faster on PC than it is on Xbox. It's a tad slower, so it took him a little bit. I wouldn't even say 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is a little bit of a stretch, and he has completely picked up. And he's definitely not a copper. He's a plat on Xbox, and he's definitely not a copper. I think he's a plat on PC too. It's just that he plays with us, and we're trash cans. So, it's so much easier to aim with mouse and keyboard. Okay, so yes, it is so much. Here's my answer to this. It is so much easier to aim with a mouse and keyboard. I agree with you on that one, and I am not saying that you're not right. But the other team also aims as easy as you do. So therefore, you have two people who aim really, really well. It's kind of a wash at that point. Like, there's really not much of a difference as far as that goes, because the other people on the other team aim just as well as you do.
Right.
So that you can't use that as a cop. That's not a cop out. Like that's just
that's scummy. It's straight up scummy. Even Pengu himself said, using mouse and keyboard on consoles is cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to Pengu, don't do that.
Laxing said the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Bikini
actually
Body said the same thing.
You can get banned if you get caught. I know a few people who have gotten banned from using mouse and keyboard on Xbox, and it clearly says in Ubisoft's rules that you cannot use any sort of adapter that changes the controller layout. So you cannot be using a mouse and keyboard.
Most Plats and Diamonds do not play mouse and keyboard on console. I play with a lot of the Plats and Diamonds, like especially when I was playing Xbox pretty heavily, and I played with a lot of Plats and Diamonds, and none of them. I mean, I think the worst that they would do is they had a scuff.
And I'm very sure even if you ask Team Fnatic, who originally started off on console and moved to PC, like the current Team Fnatic, which was previously Mindfreak, I'm very sure they would tell you as well that using mouse and keyboard on consoles is cheating. So just use the controller.
That's an absolute lie. That most people in Diamond, that's a bold-faced lie to say that.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
And you don't need it to get past.
It's an excuse.
Yeah.
It's a lame-ass excuse.
As a lot of people in here would say, is get good. I think that it's just a matter of team cohesiveness. So if you get a team together that really knows how to play, and then are actual Diamond level players who know how to work as a team. I think there's a lot of people who are like, well, I do have a 5-man. We've been playing for a long time, but being a 5-man and playing as a team are completely different things. I've had people who actually play as a team, and then I've had a 5-man of Diamonds who didn't, and I'd rather play with the Golds who played as a team than the 5-mans of Diamonds, because the Golds always won, So it's just figuring out how to play as a team and be a team member. What are you laughing at, Rustin?
Nothing.
I don't know.
You have the creepiest face.
He's like giving a very pedo smile right now.
I know. All right.
My wife keeps tickling me. She keeps poking me in the stomach. That's what's going on.
That's in the stream time. All right. So I'm going to get off of here. I just want to thank everybody so much for watching. Like I said, Fabian will be next Sunday. It will be 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will be super irritated and a little grouchy.
Yep, it is morning. Time for breakfast.
So you will see us all next week. If you have any questions for the admins in here, you're more than welcome to tag us. Make sure you report all the bad posts for us. Help us do our jobs, because we can't be there for every single comment. So be sure to report any posts that you think are completely unnecessary. If you have any questions, feel free to message the actual page. We have a page that you can actually send messages to, and all of us check those. So you are more than welcome to, and we discuss all that stuff with each other before we make any actions.
Hi, Devin.
Feel free. If there's any of us that you want to play with, I am Shay. We also have Brian. We have Rustin. We have Tom. We have Jamie. They're both British, but they're mine. And
Shay loves British people for some reason. Especially when I talk like this, she gets real.
Look through our admin. We have a lot of admins and mods. that would love to play.
Yeah. So if you need some people to play with, hit one of us up. We'll be more than happy to play. Thank you again so much for watching. We will see you at the next one.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta.